And welcome back to the Behind the Leazes podcast. A little bit of a change up this week. There's no Liam, so I'm taking over as host. We've also got Adam and Rob, the usual suspects. Lads, how are you doing after yesterday? Disappointing again.
Not
a lot to get off the chest.
I've got plenty I want to say, but we'll get into that in a bit. In terms of today, obviously, apart from the match, I'm feeling good. International break now, so you can have a break for a week, so I'm not going to be depressed next weekend. But listen, we're now doing 2 weeks' time. I'll be ready for it to see how things go with that. But yeah, I mean, in terms of my day, it's going all right.
Good. Rob, how are you, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. Again, it's bank holiday weekend. It was a sunny day yesterday, so that's just anything other than the football's fine, to be honest. Well, I mean, I had a good laugh yesterday, a few drinks before and after, but that 90 minutes in the middle just had to ruin it for everyone, didn't it? So,
well, I wasn't gonna go, and then I got offered a ticket, so I thought, what else? What better to do with me Saturday? Probably the laundry, some ironing, maybe. But yeah, got there, got that stupid pre-match excitement, like confidence we were going to do something, and first 10 minutes really took that out of us. Adam, what did you make of the first half, mate?
Well, the first half was honestly disgusting. Against Southampton, this is one of the worst teams in the league. This is a team that have saw all the best players, have brought in Adam Armstrong, that's about it. And at home, we should be doing a lot better, as simple as that. Right, every time Southampton attack with the ball, our back five would be in front of the 6-yard box, the midfield would be inside the box, and the attack would be in the edge of the box. What? Why is the line so deep? It doesn't make any sense. We play this defensive every single match, right? But yet we've conceded 8 goals in 3 games. In my opinion, we have the worst defence in the league. The only teams that concede more than us is Norwich and Arsenal, which have both played Manchester City. One's played Chelsea, one's played Liverpool. What excuses we got? We should be beating Southampton at home. The only reason they were so good in the first half is because we gave them so much time on the ball. It's unbelievable. I mean, I don't get the tactics. I don't get the 5 back. We've done it in the cup game. We did it in this game. It doesn't work. Change it. And again, it's honestly ridiculous. I'm sick of saying this every single week, but change the formation. It's that easy, honestly. Sorry about
that. Rob, mate, how are you feeling?
Yeah,
pretty much the same, I guess.
I can't argue with anything Adam said, to be honest. I mean, he's right. It is crazy. I mean, we would be more defensive with 4 at the back, with Dumb at left back, Manquillo right back. We're playing with 5 at the back with Murphy and Mitchie, who, again, like I don't want to have a go at them because I actually, at the start of this season, and I know you said it as well, Andy, I wanted Murphy to have a good season. I thought this could be his season where he has a good one. And I've always backed Richie because he works hard. And he's one of the few players in our team who will actually have a voice on the pitch. I think we're lacking leaders. We've got no one who shows that much. But the pair of them, start of this season, they lose their man 5 times a game. Like, they're just walking past them. Like, as I say, we're playing 5 at the back. We'd be more defensive with 4 at the back with Dummett and Manquillo, right back, left back, and then just put another player up front. It's not working. Everyone can see it. People let Brucey know it wasn't working at the game. The first half was just, we weren't there. It's the same Newcastle again. It's 2 different teams. 1 minute we look all right. The next minute we don't. First half, we barely got in their half, to be honest. I'm sure I saw a stat. We tried 34 long balls in the first half. We've got Wilson up front with Max. Like, why are we playing? When we had Andy Carroll, we didn't take a single long ball. And now we've got these 2 little lads up front and we're holding it long every time. It's just crazy. And then the first time we actually got it wide and crossed it in, Murphy crossed it in for Wilson and we scored. That was like the first time we actually tried like a normal attacking plan and it worked. And you go, why aren't we doing that all game? So, yeah. And then again, we finally, we actually think we've got to snatch and grab when Maxi puts the ball in the net, but oh no, we've got to get VAR out of it again. So there you go.
Yeah, that was right next to the strawberry corner. I think it took about 10 minutes. 10 minutes in, the atmosphere got really. It was nasty. Really, it was. But it was always going to get like that. I mean, when you're having goal kicks and you've got 2 of centre halves in your own box, there's nothing. This formation we're playing, there's nothing in the middle. you're playing arguably three number 10s in central midfield, so you've got no one really defensively in that gap, and it was just. I think it took 10 minutes for it to just the Brucey out chance started, which good that the voice is getting heard now, and I've got more comments to make on it later when we get to that. But the first half was just it was dire. Adam, going into the second half, we started picking up a little bit, started maybe attacking. Apparently, Bruce didn't go in at half time. What's your thoughts on that?
It's probably true, to be honest. Like, even at the sideline, you could see Graham Jones talking to the players, and Bruce is just standing there. Like, he looks like a lost dog. Like, what's he doing? He's just standing there. There's nothing going on. I mean, now I let him off the first 2 seasons due to the pandemic. I mean, 12th place with no fans there. I legit think it's good for Newcastle. I've let him off. I can't defend him anymore. It's as simple as that. He's too old to be a manager these days. You can tell he's forgetful. He always says stuff in the interviews like, "Oh, we didn't lose last week, even though we did." Sometimes he doesn't know what's going on anymore. He just honestly retire. But in terms of the team in the second half, we played a lot better. Obviously, we couldn't be any worse, to be honest. But once we started attacking, we looked better because we got high up the line, and then Wilson scored 10 minutes into the second half, and defensively we were still shocking. But going forward, we looked good in the second half, and. Yeah, even though Southampton missed so many chances in that game to make it 1-0, I do think a draw was a fair result due to the fact they wasted all their chances and Newcastle took ours. So, a lot of people got different opinions on that, but it's not good enough, really. St. Maxwell scored a winner. We should have been the winner, and we still can't defend it. Yes, it was a pen. I'm not going to lie to anyone, but I'm sick of VAR. Every single week we're giving pens away from VAR, and yeah, I'm going to get some serious PTSD in a couple of weeks' time and VAR pumps up again. But I've had enough of I've honestly had enough of VAR. But yeah, it's just how it is. But we were bad, and a draw is honestly the result we probably deserved.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Rob, what's your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, again, I think the draw was a fair result, as I say. I think if we'd won that 2-1, it was a snatch and grab, to be honest, because I don't think we played well enough to deserve the 3 points. So if we'd taken those 3 points, I would have certainly celebrated it, but I mean, I don't think we deserved it. But yeah, well, again, I mean, first half, we barely got in their half. We were just lobbing it long over and over and wondering why it wasn't working. And then second half, as I say, we finally tried to play a little bit of football and we scored a goal. But yeah, and like Adam says, we're playing people out of position. The defenders can't defend. We're playing wingers and centre mid, and then we're wondering why it's not working. It's just complete madness. I think the thing is, I know I'm going a bit crazy this morning. I do try not to wind myself up too much because, as poor as Brucey's been, I just can't see him getting sacked. I mean, a friend of mine rang me yesterday. He lives in London. He's a Charlton fan. He was like, "Oh, Rob's not a great start. Do you reckon Brucey's going to go?" And I said, "No." I said, "Unless we're in the bottom 3 at Christmas, then Ashley might have to make a decision. But if we're sat in 17th at Christmas, nothing will happen. Like it's far too early." And Ashley's not going to let him go unless he has to. That's the thing. Yeah. We picked up a point. Like it's better than some teams have done so far, and we're just going to hope it gets better.
Well, he's got a history, hasn't he, of leaving it late. Steve McLaren was there till March, and that was far too late for when we brought Rafa in. Same thing with Pardew and Lecter Carver, and we're just great staying up that season. Second half, personally, we show signs, like little hints going forward. We look all right, but it's the usual 2 are carrying it, Maxman and Wilson. One of them gets injured. I'm frightened because I think that's when we will just cave in, especially in the current formation we're playing. Sean Longstaff was one of the standout players, I thought, yesterday. Grafted, and in that formation, that's what you need from someone that's going to be in the centre of the park, and he's a total different player when he's not playing with Shelby. From what I've heard in training ground, I think Shelby's half the problem in centre midfield. I think he rubs his laziness off onto the other players, and Sean thrives when he's not playing with them. Murphy as well, grafted. Almiron, grafted. Almiron's not a central midfielder. I mean, it's very rare you get someone of his stature playing in centre mid. I know you've got Verratti at PSG, but God, I'm not trying to compare him to Verratti in any sense, but he grafted, and that's what we needed. But it's just there's no, like I said, there's nothing getting kept in the middle of the pitch. But we've talked first half, talked second half. Adam, the rumour is Bruce not going into his own change room at half time to give a team talk. I mean, that pretty much says it all, doesn't it?
Well, of course. So what's Bruce even going to say? He's going to go, "Oh, great defending, lads. 0-0 half time." Like, what's he going to say? Like, he's just going to talk absolute rubbish. But in terms of the midfield, I'm not going to slag any of the midfielders off because Willock's way too deep for the sort of player he is. Anwood's not a centre midfielder. And Sean Longstaff's like, he's screwed and what's he supposed to do? He's playing with 2 out of position players. But in terms of the footballers yesterday, I'm not a fan of Lascelles. I'll be honest, he's given away 2 pens in 2 weeks now, both blatant pens as well. He's not a captain for me. Yes, obviously the manager's useless, but as a captain, you need to be lifting the team up. I didn't see him once yesterday shouting at his players. He's not like you don't have a same sort of like not like Richie. He still don't have a same sort of like react on the pitch. He's just he kind of just stands there and just does his job really. And he doesn't even do his job because we conceded 8 goals. So yeah, I'm not a fan of this. I don't think he's fit to be the captain. I'll be honest. I'm not just taking out him because, for example, the fullbacks weren't good enough yesterday again, and. Yeah, it just sums up the team. I don't think the team's playing for the manager anymore. Yeah. I think the team is honestly fed up. I can't say I blame them, but I mean, we're 3 games into the season, we're already playing like it. It's not good enough at all. It's not on. And if we don't change the tactics or change anything, we're not going to make any more signings. So we're stuck with these players. And, it's going to be a hard season. Apart from Norwich, it's going to go down. Who else is going to go down? And that's where you got to start.
Arsenal.
Arsenal. I mean, that would be cool to see, but I think eventually he'll get themselves out of the dirt. But yeah, Newcastle in trouble, in serious trouble.
Who would you give the armband to then? Who would you
like to see? A lot of people say Richie, but I actually think Wilson will be a really good captain. Yeah, I think Callum Wilson's quite a confident player. He always believes how good he is, and I don't know. I just think he'd be a good leader. I think he'd be a good player to have around the dressing room. That's who I'd personally give it to. But I know a lot of people say Richie, but I don't know. I think Wilson will be a good captain.
Rob, what's your thoughts? Bruce coming in. I watched the City Arsenal game before I came out. I was talking to Adam before we started. The intensity Pep Guardiola has on that side, even at 3-0 up, he's on the touchline screaming at his players. We don't get that from our manager. We're 0-0, not doing anything going forward. And I think. Well, you can tell he's very much invested in us defensively. He's the defensive coach, hence why it's so clumsy at the back. And then you've got Graham Jones having to step up. He's the coach. He's not the manager. And for him having to come up and scream for the players, it's just not good enough, is it?
Well, again, I think it's just the whole team. Like, I mean, it's happened for a long time. Like we are just lacking a leader. And there was a time when I thought Lascelles looked like he was going to step into that role. I just don't know whether at the moment things aren't. It's hard when things are going great. Everyone's shouting and everyone wants to be involved. It's when things are going bad is when you need someone to step up. And I agree with what Adam said, because I think Richie would have been that player. And as I say, I've always backed him. He would have been the player I would have said give it to. But I just think he's not playing great either. You want someone who's going to try and lead from the front. And I think I would go Wilson as well. It's hard to knock people because. As I say, start of this season, I was willing Murphy to do well, but at the end of the day, I think we're asking him to play like a role he's not necessarily suited for as much as I'd hoped he was. Again, he was the one getting down the wing and crossing it in for Wilson. He was the one who crossed it in who scored a goal 2 weeks back, but just defensively, I just think he's being asked to do a little bit too much. And again, going back to the midfielders, Almiron. I mean. He works hard, but he's had a terrible first few games. But again, how can I knock the kid? He's a number 10 or winger, and we're trying to play him defensive mid. So I'm not going to sit here and go he's useless, even though he looks like he is. But if you went and put me in that team, I'd look useless. Like you're playing him in the wrong place, and it's just frustrating. And I think again. Brucey's tried what he thought was best. The first few games, it hasn't worked. But I almost feel like he's just sticking to it because he wants to prove people wrong. Like, just admit defeat and just change the formation because it's not working.
I mean, we've talked about this the last couple of weeks. The attackingly on paper, our attack it's a top 10 attack easily. I think if it's getting played well, but yesterday it was even in the crowd. It was a mixed bag. It was a mix between trying to lift the team and then showing the negativity to Bruce as well. And I mean, for even scoring a goal, going 1-0 up, and we want Brucey out chance to stay there. It shows a lot. And then I think after the game, I think we're all gonna have quite a bit on this. Steve Bruce to say that he's disappointed in the fans in those chants. And I mean, Bruce, how do you think we feel? Adam, I'm gonna let you go, mate. I think you a lot to say.
He's disappointed us. I'm disappointed in you, football manager. You're an absolute fraud. How are you a Premier League manager? And I like to Eddie Howe, Frank Lampard, are missing jobs. Like, these managers would be better for Newcastle than Steve Bruce is. Honestly, he's disappointing us. I'm spending money week in, week out watching your football. Honestly, I don't know who you think he is. It's ridiculous. In the Burnley match, we were lost in penalties. But we didn't lose the game, but we went out the cup. Well, we were lost in pens, so we did lose the game. Honestly, it's ridiculous. Just retire, honestly, just retire. I've had enough of him. I can't believe I fist bumped him a month ago. Get out of this club. I've had enough of him. Yeah, I'm sick of Steve Bruce. It is, honestly. Man U 2 weeks' time. It's a good thing that we've got Man U 2 weeks' time, because no matter what, we're going to lose the game. So we might as well try something new, take a loss in the chin and move again next game. That's what we should honestly do. But you know what's going to happen? 5 at the back, we'll sit back all game. We'll get beat 6 or 7. You know what's going to happen straight away. But in terms of Bruce disappointing us, listen, I'm disappointed in the club and in you, so that's all I've got to say about that.
Rob, I'll let you go, mate. What are you thinking?
I can't say anything Adam hasn't just said there. I mean, it's just crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. I mean, again, it's so frustrating because we've just got to sit there and watch it. And like you were saying earlier, about being on the sideline, the way Pep Guardiola speaks to his team, the documentary of him in the changing room. Like, I can't imagine Brucey doing that. And if he does, well, he doesn't, does he? With, like, again, going back to our team, we've got players like St. Max and Wilson, and we're just putting them up top on the road and just looking along both of them. Like, if that's Brucey's way to try and get the best out of those 2 players, it's just crazy. Like, you've got to think I mean, it's never going to happen, or at least not in the near future, but you've got to think having a manager who, like Pep, would get so much out of our team that we're just not seeing at all. I'll tell you one positive of the game. I think I saw Joe Linton do the first good thing for this club when he cut inside and laid it up to Fraser's shot. That was actually all right. I actually thought that's the first good thing I've seen in the black and white top that he's done. So well done to him on that one. But yeah, I mean, what more can I say, really?
It's just, we are desperate for someone to come in with a positive attacking mentality, aren't we? And I think when you've got Wilson, Fraser, Richie, they all played for Bournemouth under an Eddie Howe who had that team striving. Surely the common sense thing is to go and bring him in. There's no way he shouldn't not be in a Premier League job. And when someone like a fossil like Steve Bruce is in there, why not? Just went totally blank there. Sorry. Yeah, moving on. Transfers, we've all said we want to bring more players in. Fullbacks, I would love to see Murphy play further up the field. He's brilliant. Rob, like you said, he's brilliant going forward. So why not play him on the wing and get someone in right back? I know Mankio played against Burnley, but there was nothing special. We haven't had anything special at fullback position, maybe since Jan Matt, definitely since Debussy, but there's just been nothing there. And now to see that the club apparently has no money to even make loan moves after sending Matty Longstaff out on loan. Adam, I know it's your favourite thing to talk about, the club lacking money, so I'll let you give your thoughts.
Well, in terms of signs, I will begin with. I think we need to sign a full new team. I don't rate any of them, to be honest. But now we do have money. I've never heard a bigger lie in all my life. We've got rid of about 5 or 6 players in this window. Bear in mind, a player like Muto's on 50 grand a week, so there's some wages there. That's enough to get a loan player in. So that's all of a sudden gone. I mean, we've made £20 million on one player, and then Bruce is saying, we broke the transfer rules to get him in. But sign one player, you winding me up. Newcastle, we finished 12th last season during the pandemic. The amount of money we made off Sky and BT for the TV rights. Honestly, you could buy a full new team, and the money you got, it's unbelievable. I mean, Mike Ashley, people can say, he's selling the club, you just need to invest. Well, you do need to invest, you still own the club, and we are one of the contenders to go down how we played so far. It's not good enough at all. We're not going to make any more signs. It's too late. Transfer window closes in 2 days' time. And honestly, I don't even care at this point. Get 36-year-old Papis Cisse back to the club. I don't even care to sign someone. I don't care who it is. Get anyone in the club. I've had enough of it. I want to see some new players in. But now we are in for serious trouble. For a fact, Maximum Wilson will get injured at some point this season. And what we're going to do then. And that's the biggest problem. But yeah, I'm annoyed about the transfers, as you can tell, but it's not going to change, unfortunately.
Rob, if there was someone we were going to bring in, I mean, God, I don't think one player would make a difference. Who would be your ideal candidate?
I'm not even sure at this point. I mean, again, like you look around. I know Adam's talking about Cisse. I mean, that Willems, the left winger who played for us, he's just gone and signed for a German team. I mean, he was on a free, and again, we're talking about having no money. He was on a free, and we've just managed to get rid of the wages for Muto, Seve, and all these players. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure Muto was on like 60 grand a week or something crazy. I'm sure Willems would have taken half of that just to come back to the Premier League, and you've got to think. And maybe they knew something about him that we don't. I mean, he is getting older, and I think he's been injury prone. But at the end of the day, it's a free signing when we've got barely anyone in the squad. I mean, Brucey's on about having this 4 goalkeeper stuff. I mean, we've sent Matty out on loan now, so that's at least one spot. You've got to think he's got to have an idea of that he's going to bring someone in. I just can't see why he would load. Well, I know Matty wasn't getting the game time, so obviously he wasn't a fan of his. But with our paper thin squad, you've got to think, unless he thinks that he's going to get something over the line in these last few days, why would you loan Matty? Like, it's fair enough he doesn't get near the team, but I'd rather have him hanging around on the edges rather than finding ourselves at Christmas with 3 injuries and no one to play. It's the midfield spot as well. To steal a phrase from Mark Goldbridge when he talks about Manchester United, we're like Bagel FC. We've got all these players at the back. We've got Max and Wilson up front, and there's just nothing in the middle. There's no connector. We're just lumping it long every time. I know Willock's hopefully going to come into that role. I mean, I thought he looked a bit quiet yesterday. I'm still waiting on the player that we left at the end of last season, but I know he's not quite had the game time yet or the pre-season that we would have wanted. So I'm hoping with a bit more time he could possibly be that player. But again, Willock's like the number 10. He wants to play behind Wilson. So does Almiron. We're playing these players in like centre mid when really they aren't that player. We need to find someone who is, and we need to get them in quickly.
Yeah, I mean, it's disappointing seeing Willock playing so deeply. He was in our box most of the game, and we must be the only. I mean, the pace we've got up front is perfect to counter attack, and with defending corners, we've got no one on the line. We've no one up on the halfway line. So, like you're saying, Rob, we're lumping balls up, and no one's there to get on the end of them. Matty's was staying probably about 3/4 up the pitch, but then trying to get on either wing. It was useless. But the next game, Bruce has already got a safe goal, hasn't he? With Man United title contenders going away, they're bringing in Ronaldo, so all their players are going to be ready up for it. I mean, they're playing today against Wolves, and it's just going to be excuses after that game, isn't it, Adam? You're going. Are you looking forward to it at all? Or?
Yeah, I'm actually. I'm aware we're going to lose, so I'm going to have a good day out, and I'm going to see Ronaldo's return to Man United. Like, even as a Newcastle fan, it's so cool to see live. It's the worst time to play Manchester United. Every single fan, every single player, everyone at the club is going to be excited for that game. Ronaldo coming back to the club, the confidence they have going forward. I mean, we are screwed. We were going to lose the match anyway, and now that this is happening, I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter what we do, we are going to lose this game. The only positive I can really say is that if we get slapped to a silly level, maybe Bruce might get sacked. I don't think so, but if we lose like 9 or 10-0, then the phone call might be coming in for Bruce. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the game. I promised I'll go to every single match this season. But when the likes of Brighton and Southampton away coming, that's when I'm going to start. That's when I'm going to start changing my mind a bit. But in terms of this one, I'm excited for the Man U game. Regardless of the score, it's going to be a great day out. And listen, see a 5-time Ballon d'Or winner live. That's something you don't get to see too often. So I'm very happy to look for that.
Yeah, I think I'm right in saying this, that the last time Ronaldo played against Newcastle at Old Trafford, he scored a hat-trick in a Man United 6-0 win. So
That's
I think we'll be
correct.
seeing plenty of goals, Adam. Not too sure any of them will come from Newcastle, but
Listen,
miracles have
you got to
happened
run out of
before.
stats. I got a couple here for you. He's played us 11 times. He's never lost to Newcastle. Newcastle have obviously won once the last 50 years Old Trafford, and Steve Bruce has beaten Man United one in like 25 attempts. So yeah, there's some stats for you there. I don't fancy our chances, but listen, if we get a result, then obviously I'm going to be buzzing about that. But really, though, like I said before, we should change the tactics up, take a loss in the chin, and obviously use those tactics in the Leeds match and try and get something from there. But yeah, 4-way game for me.
Yeah. Rob, are you gonna be watching? Are you going? Are you making other
I don't
plans?
know. Well, again, I know it's talking about another team, but it is good to see Ronaldo. Just back in the Premier League, I think when Messi went to PSG, for me, it was a bit of a, well, he's kind of gone to the best team.
Yeah.
They've already got all the money. They've already got all the best players. And maybe it's because I don't watch that league. Maybe I wasn't too fussed, but having a play, I wish Messi had gone to Man City. I think you want to see the best players in your league. I think the thing with Ronaldo as well is because they aren't number one at the moment. He might, like, if he, for example, if he did go to Man City, it would still be great to see him. But they're already winning everything anyway, so he's just going to add to a team that's already winning. Seeing him go to a team who actually who actually needs him and could do better with them, is more exciting to see. But I mean, it's not great for us. I think we will get hammered. I think he's going to probably score a hat trick. But we'll just see. I mean, I don't know if I'll go or not. I'm tempted just because of the fact that he's there, and I think Manchester's a good city to go to for a night out as well. And I'm up for that. But otherwise, I think we're going to have a very tough game. I mean, if we play the way we did yesterday in that first half, I mean, Southampton could have been 3 or 4 up in the first half. It's a good job. You know, they aren't too much better than us, or we would have been punished. I mean, they had a shot about 5 yards out in an open goal, and somehow the lad missed it. I mean, stick Ronaldo on that, he'd put that away every day of the week. So I think we were lucky yesterday. And as I say, if we'd won 2-1, it would have been a snatch and grab. I don't think we deserve to win that game. I think a draw is probably about fair-ish. The only chance we've got against Manchester United is just the hope that they walk into it thinking they're going to completely roll us over and maybe we'll surprise someone. But I mean, I can't see us getting anything, to be honest.
Yeah, I think the only surprise Man United will have from us is 10 at the back straight away and try and park the bus and just probably 10-man Martin Ronaldo. But we're talking Ronaldo, like I've said, I mean, I've stuck a tenner at the start of the year for Man United to win the league, and that was before they signed Ronaldo. I think if all round, if their whole squad's playing great, I mean, Pogba's came into the season playing like he does for France and bringing that quality in. They do look good, and I think they could have a better squad than City this season. I mean, City, Gabriel Jesus has shown little bits of confidence, like he plays in the Champions League games. He's bringing that into the Premier League now. But I think City needed to bring Kane in, needed a striker. I think just to make sure. I mean, I know they beat Arsenal 5-0 yesterday, so it's not like they're lacking the goals. But I think Man United bringing Ronaldo in, they're just going to be absolute different gravy. But we've got the international break now. Are you just going to be watching the England games, or we're still a little bit heartbroken? I mean, I don't usually bother with the qualifiers. It's usually a waste of time. It's like watching paint dry to us in Newcastle. But I don't know about you, Adam. Are you looking forward to them? Or?
I'm not going to watch them. I don't ever watch the qualifiers. I can care less about them.
Yeah.
The games are boring to watch, and yeah, I'll just be on the Xboxes and watching the games.
Rob?
No, again, I mean, it's only been 2 seconds since the Euros has ended, and I've had enough of England for now until the next tournament. I think. I mean, it's nice that we'll get a break from watching Newcastle for a bit. I think that's the only good thing about it. And I mean, if I'm sat in front of the telly and it's on, then I might watch it. But to be honest, I don't even know when the games are and who we're playing at this point in time. And I don't think I'll probably bother looking it up either.
Yeah, well, I think we can finally put this weekend away behind us. I'm looking forward to the Belgian Grand Prix later on. We've got that. Look forward to a couple of weeks of Formula One action and just not think about Newcastle and enjoy me a couple of weekends. And I think you two will be feeling the same. So we'll leave it leave it there for today. Thanks for everything, lads, and we'll see you all later.
Bye bye.